Hey, this is T.
And it's V, and welcome to another episode of Chit Chat with T and V.
We want to thank you guys that viewed our first video, our story, and keep a lookout for new videos that we'll be posting where we'll do some Q&A with some of the great questions that you're asking, posting on these videos. We want to give a shout out to Sweet T Darling, who asked a great question that will kind of set us off into our topic today. She said, I would love if you would talk about your families. You are both successful and balanced people who love God. I know everyone had to make a decision to serve Christ for themselves, but I still wonder how your family's upbringing framed your lives and your success. So, I'll start. And I was actually born in Korea, but I was adopted when I was 4 months old. So I came to the States. I've pretty much been raised in America all my life. I have two Caucasian parents. They're beautiful people, wonderful, some of the most phenomenal people on the planet, in my opinion. And they were really critical, obviously, in the formative years of my life. I was an only child, and they really helped set me up for success. I didn't grow up per se in a Christian family. My grandfather on my mom's side was a Lutheran minister, but we didn't necessarily grow up practicing any particular faith, although we'd visit the Lutheran church when we'd go and visit my grandparents. But that was something that they kind of allowed me to discover on my own. And so I actually came to faith, the Christian faith, when I was 19. I had kind of, I'd visited different places. I had Hindu friends growing up, so I'd gone to the Hindu temple. I didn't know a lot about my heritage, back home in Korea. So, but I thought that a lot of the Asian religions were tied to Buddhism. So I thought about maybe I'll study up on the Buddhist religion. But I found faith in Christ when I was 19. The girl that I was dating at the time happened to be a Christian, and that kind of just led into me stepping into the church and seeing what it was all about. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell as far as how I came to faith and some of my family's role. As you guys probably know, I'm pretty big on sports, and I remember reading Drew Brees' autobiography, I believe, and he talks in that book about how not to be motivated necessarily by the haters or by your enemies or those that are against you, but to be motivated by those that are in your corner, those that are supporting you, those that are by your side. And I've kind of adopted that model for my own life. My family, my extended family, and also specifically my parents, of course my wife, these are my motivators. These are why I press to be successful and to be a hard worker, and of course my faith is very predominant, is first really in how I go about living my life and the decisions that I make.
I was actually born from a Christian family. My dad was in ministry, and he was a successful business man as well, and my mom did nursing at the time. So we were pretty much raised in an environment that focused first on Christ and on family, and also on education. So my parents were really big on, make sure you go to school, go to college, get your degree, and in the process do what you can to love others and people and show Christ wherever you go. So my story is a little bit different than Tyler's in the sense of I was raised in a Christian environment, period. So it definitely shaped who I am. Definitely one thing that we had as a similarity is, having positive people around you, because if you have positive people around you to encourage you, you want to, do the best that you can for the people that have been supporting you this whole through. I did go through different denominations. I grew up in a Baptist setting and then went to a Pentecostal church in my teens, and that's kind of where I experienced Christ for myself. And then when I was in college and I went to the gym for my previous video, you guys know about our story, I met Tyler, and his previous relationship brought him into Christianity, and it happened to be Adventism. So in terms of success, because my family was so big on education and pretty much doing what we feel God has called us to do in our lives. I, in college, decided to do legal communications because at that point I thought I wanted to become a lawyer. So, you know, God kind of blessed in that way because I did end up in a law firm when Tyler and I got married and worked there for a few years, and it was great and I loved it. But as a result of our experience in life, I really did a lot of prayer and felt God calling me to do nursing, to become a NICU nurse. So that's where I am right now. I'm in the process of pretty much applying to schools when we leave here, and God willing getting into one of the schools where we'll be going and starting my journey to becoming a NICU nurse.
I think that love and support was probably the foundation of probably both of our families. I would actually say that you know, to this day, you know, our union, our marriage, our faith, both sides of our parents are completely supportive of it all, you know, and just love us for who we are.
Yeah. We really do. We really do.
So I think that's the foundation of our success in many ways, both individually and together. You know, I think of an example. You know, my parents always had me aim and strive to do the best that I could. So that didn't necessarily look like straight A's. If, you know, straight A's wasn't what I could pull, I never felt that pressure, I guess. And I know for a lot of people, maybe, you know, they do carry that pressure. You know, or maybe you've had a different story. But I just know for me that one way that support was seen in my upbringing was that, you know, the goal was always to do the best that I could. And I think that, you know, that's probably a principle that we want to raise our kids with. Definitely. Right? Because, you know, we want them shooting for the stars and aiming for the best, but, you know, the pressure isn't to be perfect per se. And I think that really helped me be successful because I didn't have to carry around that weight.
Well, thank you, sweet tea darling, for posting that question. Hopefully we answered it. And guys, remember, whatever topics you might have, to put it in the comments below and we'll make sure to get to it. All right, guys, till next time.